Cool. How's everyone's summer been? Are you all, I don't know if you guys have family, so you needed to be away or doing extra childcare duty while they are at home. But hopefully, summer's been great so far. Cool. So I think maybe let's start just to the link to the Jamboard. Katrina, do you have it handy? Yeah.
Yes, I'll send it. Let me make sure I have the permissions so you can all view it.
Cool. So while she's sharing the Jamboard, you can, and you'll have access to it even after the session. So in case you want to pay more attention to listening rather than chatting, feel free to view it later. Up to everybody's style is different, so feel free to use it the way you think that works for you. Just a quick couple of notes, please mute in case you're not talking. We are a small group today, so we should be able, we don't need to use a hand raise function. We can just talk and make it more organic. Again, I know, as we always say, all ideas are good ideas. So, if you have expertise in a certain aspect of Discord, maybe from safety perspective, parenting perspective, platform perspective, I don't know, feel free to add on from that, bring perspectives from that angle, build on top of each other's ideas. And in case somebody has mentioned your idea, in the interest of time, you can just +1 that, and we have more varied discussion going. And I'm hosting the session after a long time. I feel it's been like at least a couple of months since I hosted this session. So if things are a little bit more casual, let me know and we can adjust, or if it's too fast or too slow. So moving on to the next slide. So we typically start all our sessions with one app and with the mission and mission of that company, to kind of ground us in what are they trying to achieve. So Katrina, if you don't mind going to the next slide, what do you think is the mission of Discord? And as they say,
I remember
school, yeah, Ariana.
Sorry for interrupting without raising my hand. Last time I checked the website, it was something to the effect of like, it's a place to hang out and chat. I don't know if that's technically their mission statement, but I got the sense that's meant to be, not just a communication platform, but a place to find community and connect with others.
Yeah, actually, that's very, very close to what they have. They are like, it's a place to find your group or your community, and their about page is actually one of the best about pages of any company I have seen. And feel free to keep your Google or whatever tool that you guys use for research open. It talks about how they started as a community for gamers, because the two founders were very passionate about gaming and needed something for them to talk while gaming, and then they kind of like exploded. So there is a excellent section about how they started and where they are now. So we can talk about, like, if you guys have followed their journey, what do you think it is today? It's not an exam. You can open Google up. You can open ChatGPT, Bard, Safari, Bing for folks from Microsoft, if they're online. Okay, they are all things like a chat group similar to Slack. Yeah, they are like a Slack. Rashmi?
Yeah, the more I'm reading about them, it feels like they are turning into a place where you can set up meetup groups, like for like-minded people.
Yeah, you can set up a meetup group. Do you think they're more like a meetup? The meetup.com is more in person. Do you think these guys are also in person or more virtual?
it's more virtual, I feel, and but with the potential, like if you are say part of local hiking clubs or art communities, you can plan a physical meetup to for like-minded people.
Yeah. Shritama.
So I think I was going through the Discord app, and I think there is quite a bit of focus on groups and communities, right? So if you think of any other communication app like WhatsApp, Slack, there is an equal emphasis on group collaboration as well as direct, like one-to-one direct messages. Whereas in case of Discord, I see that they're very intentional in terms of setting up servers, setting up channels within that. It's all about like bringing people together. That seems to be a big focus of Discord.
Yes, actually, I like the word you use, community, because that's exactly what they are. They are trying to build community around an interest versus just a modality for connection. Anyone else has any other thoughts about it?
I'll be honest with you, I've not used Discord. I did download their app, but for me, it wasn't like it wasn't very intuitive, just like WhatsApp has been, very quickly you can get going. But just out of curiosity, is Discord even used within the companies, like at the enterprise level? I know Slack is used, Teams is used, but is Discord a product which is used within Fortune 500 companies? Just curious myself.
That's a very good question, and probably leads us to the next thing. I don't think they are, I don't think anybody prevents them from using in an enterprise, but I don't think they're like an enterprise grade software for like a Slack. They are more a B2C, I think. But again, has anyone come here across use cases where in the enterprise landscape where people are using it?
Yeah, I agree with you to see. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I haven't seen it in a enterprise landscape, but there have been, I believe, some partnerships with corporations around, especially in gaming, and integrating kind of those partnerships into different servers.
Yeah. So I think, if you think about their categories, they are more B2C. They are definitely gamers definitely use it. So they're more, I would say, in an entertainment category. Has anybody seen any education or other use cases?
Yeah, I was about to add. So a lot of colleges use them. Kids have, study groups created, in addition to a lot of clubs actually coordinate using this application. Okay. So audience is, I think, a lot of young audience to this application.
That's a great thing. So more like Gen Z.
I would say yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I just, when I logged into Discord today, it actually asked me, there is one option where you can log in, or rather provide your official school email, right? And on the basis of that, it would help you identify some of the servers, some of the channels. So I was going to say the same thing. I think there is a niche that it is trying to find between the student groups.
Makes sense. Do you think?
Sorry, can I just add one more thing?
Yeah. Go ahead, Akansha.
So if you just look at the way they grew organically, it essentially was gamers. And then they came together and they found out, we can hang out here together. And they started to create a lot of private servers. And then some of the people started to create public servers. So if you look at that journey, it's very, very apparent that this was going to be very popular amongst gamers, amongst school-going kids, which is what you see here. And for some reason, I don't even think they were targeting enterprises, right? Their market segment was here, and which is where you see it. So, and then from gaming, it grew to other things like, similar passion, similar liking, finding my tribe, that kind of a thing. That's what comes out for me.
Makes sense. Totally. So I was going to ask on education, are they using it for So, like I think of two use cases within the education and the student cohort category. One is like the actual classes content, like, talking to your teacher about maybe assignment and coursework. And, there is the exchange of things with your TA and your teachers and whatnot. Or it could be just like a student-led body, which is still in this whole, I want to hang out with my friends. We met at school, but it's still about that entertainment connection. It's not really about studies.
I would probably, I would go with that one, the latter case, because right now I'm taking an online course through Georgia Tech, and we don't actually use Discord. We use either Canvas, and that's where all the professors are posting the assignments, the exams, and I think there's another platform called Ed. But definitely I've not seen Discord used like at the classroom level. So I agree with the use case that probably it's something that the kids are using to maybe just bypass the official channels and just have their own groups.
Got it. That's a very interesting observation. Thanks for sharing, Zahid. So what do you think is their business model? How are they making money?
Can I ask a quick question before that?
Yeah.
What's a server and what's setting up a server mean? I mean, just curious, is it the same thing as Slack where you go in, you set up a channel, or you could just have your own community? So what does server actually?
It's an equivalent of that. There is no hardware setup involved, but instead of how in Slack, I think I forget the actual term, like there's channels and there is a group that you or a work group you set up. They call the work group equivalent as a server there.
Okay, thank you.
So how are they making money? Are they making money?
I think they are making money. I haven't done a very thorough analysis of this, but my just impressions from using it is that it's a freemium model. So they have, anyone can use it for free. That's how I've used it primarily. And then there's this thing called Nitro. And I believe that's like a subscription model that you can pay for additional features. But please correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody knows this in greater detail.
Yeah, so their Nitro is definitely their paid thing. It's also so one of the use cases for Discord is for celebrities to connect with their fans, and these are usually also gaming celebrities. So think about the YouTube stars and other influencers. People who play Minecraft and post videos of that Minecraft or Brawl Stars or whatnot. They have their own Discord communities and they usually set it up on that Nitro, and any fan can follow on their free channel. But if you want to have like a one-on-one discussion, more detailed stuff, then there is a subscription aspect. That's how the celebrities make money. Or one way they make money, I guess.
Do we know what, like the freemium model is pretty much simple to understand. You're part of a community, you are interacting with others. But what does the subscription service offer? Like, for example, why would I pay for a subscription service? What more features can I get? Does anybody know?
Do you want to quickly Google it, Rashmi?
I am, and it just the high level. I've just got a Washington Post on it. It says that it offers a subscription service that expands file upload size and kind of emojis. So I'm not sure if that is
it
good
also
enough.
offers one-on-one messaging, at least for the celebrity, the influencer use case. It offers one-on-one chats with them. Or the celebrities I know also host events, which then they like smaller events, smaller meetups, which are now available only to their subscription only folks. So in some sense, some of them pay. The subscription is to get additional content, earlier content. So it's kind of like Substack in that sense, but on the Discord platform.
Yeah, I think they have like some kind of integration with the creators. So that's how the application is making money. So when the creators are offering the subscription models and the application is, doing some kind of integrations with the creators.
Yes. So sorry, was somebody saying something?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I'm just looking at their Nitro webpage, and my understanding of it, it's largely about Nitro. The subscription is about, number one, personalization. So enabling to personalize your profile with custom emojis, and then it's about file upload size. So where are you reading about these kind of the creator part of the monetization strategy? I wasn't aware of that.
So I used to work on something that was a competitor to this, so I know it from my previous knowledge. But what influencers do, or these celebrities do, is they will personalize it, as you said, using Nitro, and their followers who subscribe to it, they have private events for them or other additional benefits for them. Because then it becomes just a channel, a channel for communication with your subscribed paid user base.
And is Discord managing the subscriptions, or is that outside?
It is managing the subscription from a platform perspective, but you set your price, you set how many tiers you need to set and things of that nature.
So if I own a server and I have like 10 subscribers, I can determine the price that I want to
You can
charge.
determine the price, yeah. And they will...
and it's a revenue sharing model, I believe, with Discord platform too, right?
Yes. So exactly, it's like Substack in that sense, except Substack is for email versus this becomes via a more interactive async channel.
Okay.
So does that mean the target customers for Nitro are creators, and it's not people like me? It's primarily
you can be
creators.
a creator too. So you even, I think their biggest use case is this influencers and this entertainment type of category, because that's where they started and that's where they make money today. They might be making money from this whole education piece, especially if universities are are endorsing that, hey, we have a community on Discord and join it. So they might be getting, I don't know about the university use case. I wasn't aware of that.
So Rutuja,
So,
I think
but
at their Nitro, the features that they have to offer, one thing that caught my attention was the fact that Nitro members essentially get a boost. They get 2 server boosts. So I think that sort of aligns with their influencer user base, where if you are an influencer, you would want your server to be publicized so that more and more people can find
join it. Yeah. Actually, that brings a good point. So the other difference between a Slack and a Discord is that if you go to Discord's website today, you will see all the public communities that you can join. It's almost like a marketplace in that sense. And when you, that helps with the discovery of a particular celebrity. And I don't know if the subscription gives you a boost. Maybe that's where they are boosting you.
Right. That's what they said, that you get 2 server boosts if you have a Nitro.
Yeah. And yes, Midjourney also requires Discord usage to generate image. So it's possible that there are some niche enterprises. I don't know if you'll call Midjourney enterprise, but some maybe companies moving into Discord as their way of engaging with their external customers. Just like people used to have forums, instead of having a forum which is text-based, this becomes like an interactive forum. Moving on, because I know we have a lot of ground to cover.
I raised my hand just with a quick question. You had mentioned that you can discover public servers in the app. I actually haven't found that to be at least for me, it's been hard to do that. How are you doing that? Are you just searching in the search bar and just typing in and hoping to find something?
On their website.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you just drop a link for, is that under the Discover tab? Okay, I see that now. Got it. Okay, found it. Thank you.
Yeah. So who do we think are there? Let's talk about their user, buyer, and partnership personas. Who do we think are their users? I think we've talked about
Anybody who creates an account with them, like a consumer, like direct consumer, anybody who will go and log in and create an
Sure,
account.
but would you, I don't think, I think about more from a lens of like, are they, I think there are two personas we talked about. One is a student,
College student, yeah.
college student. One we said is a
Influencer.
gamer. Sorry, Rashmi.
So I think you said influencers too, right?
Influencers, yeah. Gamer.
Can I ask one thing? Is this platform used for selling as well?
How do you define selling?
Selling some few, I don't know, like all the young platforms which young people use, they use those for selling, like, related to games. I don't know if those would be covered under the channels, gaming related channels itself.
Yeah,
but I know,
possible, but that is from the person based on like what I'm reading on the revenue model they have. They anybody who sets up a Nitro or a server boost, like they take those subscription, they can create a premium membership, they can do merchandise sale, partnership with other companies, everything using that channel, and pay up like a revenue sharing model to Discord.
Okay, so there is selling involved as well.
Yeah,
Not from Discord, but from the influencer, whoever has a server.
No, that's different. So that probably is there. But I'm talking more like college students selling services. It could be homework or it could be something else, kids do a lot of weird things. So I'm just, I don't know if this has been, but I'm just, because wherever you go, whichever application is used by young population, normally drives to these things. They'll find something cheaper and buy 10 things and sell it at a
I
higher.
won't be surprised, Anjana, sorry, in the interest of time, that there are some college kids selling stuff. But if I don't know if the college kid doesn't have a Nitro subscription, if they can take payment for that merchandise on Discord, they probably are advertising on their channel and maybe collecting money in a different way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, but can I ask, like, so even though, let's say, if we didn't know anything about Nitro and other subscription model, what would be the ideal, or at least users for Discord? Because another thing that comes to my mind is, so if I look at New York Times or Wall Street Journal, there's always this share button, right, where you can share that particular article with people on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Discord actually, to be honest, is not there right now. So it definitely sounds like it's a platform which is very specific to, I guess, gaming, if I can say that, just like Twitch was for gaming also, right? And then I'm not sure if people who use Twitch, are they also using Discord at the same time?
Probably.
Okay.
And we can probably talk about competitors and personas side by side. So Twitch would be one of the, I don't know if Twitch is one of the competitors for Discord or not, but if you think about it, they could be in one angle. But I think Twitch was more for streaming. Discord is more for communication.
So there's no video with Discord, right? You can really have like a video channel going on and like a video meet or something like the Zoom thing we are doing right now. Just curious.
You can have a video meet, because I believe they have integration, but it's not, a regular Zoom is not great for live streaming to millions of your fans, right? Like so Twitch solves for that streaming use case versus this solves for more of that communication use case. If we think gamers and celebrities are mostly their user persona and college students, who are the buyers of I guess celebrities become more of the buyer persona, but who are the buyer personas besides influencers and celebrities? Maybe school?
Yeah, school.
There's a good thing about nonprofits using Discord as an alternative to Slack, which makes sense. So maybe nonprofits and schools are, nonprofits in this case would be probably a user persona, and maybe they also have a, I don't know if they are purchasing from them. What are some partnerships that they have? Do we know?
Somebody mentioned, yeah, gaming or games. Perhaps that is a partnership to integrate into their games.
Yeah. Do they also, they might also have payment partnerships to make sure Nitro and the payment pieces of it work.
So I'm a Discord user here, sparingly used, not really, everyday user. So I have this for Pokemon Go, and they do have Nest and everything. So looks like there is some kind of integration with Pokemon Go here. So with gamings.
Okay.
But there's no
Yes.
fintech platform, right? So if you wanted to purchase something, how would you make that payment? Just curious.
No, I don't think we could, at least from my basic use of it, I
Okay.
don't think you can purchase anything. They don't have anything set up as it was mentioned before.
So
Okay,
is it
thank you.
just the discovery that happens on Discord?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Primarily used for that purpose only. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very confusing
PlayStation,
application. I feel like this is a very confusing application with too many things going at the moment, more targeted to the younger generation who can do 10 things at one point. So
That is true. There is a lot of it, and especially if you are used to the Slack way of doing things, and then you switch to Discord, things become different, a little bit trickier to use. But coming to their competitors, who are their direct or indirect competitors?
Facebook communities, Facebook communities.
Right.
Yeah,
I think
groups.
practically everything with under the Facebook's portfolio, right?
Telegram, I would say Telegram would be one.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Yes, probably that too. Yeah.
Also,
Slack.
Slack, just regular group text messages, iOS text messages.
I don't know if this is really a competitor, but I'd say Reddit potentially. I've seen a couple.
true.
I saw a headline that a couple
Quora
of Reddit.
too.
Yeah.
Quora also.
And I don't know about Facebook. Is it something application used by younger generation really?
Not
Actually,
Because
let's go into that. Are there other ideas because let's talk about, let's look at the personas on the left side and who, and we talked about like young audiences using it. If you think from that lens, is Facebook group really, is Slack really is WhatsApp really then
no, it's Telegram really a real competitor where these kids hop between Discord and Telegram, and
Okay.
maybe other things which. Yeah.
What
So
about Snap?
Roblox games usually have like a side link for Discord communities as well as Facebook community, gaming communities. If you are a fan of a particular game and you want to interact with like, other fans. So they usually provide that.
Somebody mentioned Snap. I think that's another connection, community-oriented tool.
Yeah, I haven't used Snap in a long time, but when you were mentioning, just that's primarily from the perspective of their target audience, my understanding is Gen Z is still using Snap. I just don't know how much of it's community-based, but that's why I thought it could be worth mentioning.
Yeah, so I think the true competitors really then become more of a Telegram, and or also there are Facebook groups that people do use for some of the gaming stuff, and Roblox also has links to both Facebook group and Discord at some time. So if we go to the next slide, the next thinking is then about, if we generally have an idea about the landscape, right? Like, how did they start? Where are they going now? Who are the users? How are they making money? Competitors. Let's talk about, like, why do people really like Discord? Like, what's their claim to fame? They have tons of features. UI is not super intuitive, so it's not like for us the UI is their claim to fame. Why do people really like them?
I feel like hidden identity.
Yeah, anonymous identity.
Yeah. Mhm.
Is that their only claim to fame? Like, is that the reason?
I feel like it because I'm on this, as I said, on Pokemon. I don't know who all I'm connected to. Like literally no one I know.
Did you want to know anyone?
No, I of course not. I don't have time for it, but maybe some people probably use it for that.
I sort of feel
Can I
that
ask
so I have a feeling that this anonymous identity probably is somewhere counterintuitive to their mission, right? Where they say that it's a place where you want to belong, but how can you belong when you don't know the people who you are interacting with? So that was one thing that kind of struck me as odd when I was going through this Discord. But I just wanted to bring this up because we talked about it.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. But again, I'm not a gamer, so I'm trying to channel some gamer somewhere. But I guess they just want to play regardless of who that other person is. I don't care who you are, where you are. I just want to play a game, and I just need somebody to play with.
Mhm.
Actually, I was going to ask a very dumb question. I couldn't catch who was speaking about the Pokemon Go, so I apologize if I don't know your name. But can you just quickly explain to me why you use Discord with respect to Pokemon Go? I don't know anything about Pokemon Go, and I don't know anything about gaming, so I'm just curious to hear about what value
So
you get.
this is Anjana, and again, I don't know. I can't see the name. Sorry. So basically, when I joined, and I have, as I mentioned, I have not used the application much, but whatever, they coordinate all the events. So Pokemon has that like monthly some day where they celebrate and do like a lot of Pokemons all around for a certain number of hours. So those events, at least locally, are coordinated through Discord. So they happen somewhere near a park. And the people who organize it, maybe they are somehow connected to Pokemon, and they distribute some, Pokemon related stuff to younger population, and even collect items to give prizes to people. Hey, who collected the most shiny ones and stuff like that. So it is more, from what I use for coordination of events and coordination, other gaming related coordination. So whenever you in Pokemon you reach with certain level with another member, you have to coordinate with them. And I don't know the person, I don't know their phone number, so I just go and send a message. Hey, let's 6 p.m. and we don't need to be in the same personal space. We just need to be logged into the application at the same time. And that's one of it's used for coordination, announcements, and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. This is Ariana, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, nice to meet
So,
you, Ariana.
I think one of the reason people like the anonymous identity is because there's more focus on the activity rather than the person. And especially with Facebook being, very identity focused, people wanted a channel where they could just talk, focus on the activity or the interest rather than the person, or sharing with your friends and family all your other interests that you might have, which maybe your people in real life don't know about, right? So there is an actual there's good part to being anonymous sometimes, as long as you're not doing harm to somebody else. I also think this anonymous identity is a weakness, because I think at the very beginning we were talking a little bit about bullying. So when you are anonymous, there's nothing stopping you from, and Katrina, do you want to take this section since you have a lot of expertise here?
And let me unmute. Okay. Yeah. So I used to, just for context, I used to work in child safety at Meta. And so definitely one of the risks of anonymous platforms like Discord, and it's not just anonymous, but it's like anybody can talk to anybody, is there is a risk of child safety. You can definitely build up a lot of interest. So a lot of the pros of Discord, like actually for the most part, it's fine. Like 99% will be fine. And then somebody who is maybe a child predator could also build up trust with somebody and lead somebody to believe that this is, that they're like the same age and they're really not the same age. And then it can lead to bad outcomes because of the anonymous identity. But I mean, it isn't unique just to Discord because of the anonymity. There are bad things that happen on Facebook as well that really emphasize real identity, but it just makes it easier. And it's easier to just like create new accounts and just to harass somebody. So that is a risk that I think one of the challenges that a lot of parents are worried about is like, oh, who is my child talking to? They can send anything, they can share anything. It's less controlled. There are products for kids that are more limited that control what messages they can send back and forth there.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. So I have used Discord mainly to identify professional communities for product managers, right? And I have been part of that on the Slack as well. There is definitely a trust factor that is missing, right? You have to overcome that. I mean, when someone reaches out to you on Discord, there's that a factor of not knowing who that person is, not being able to see anything. It's like a picture and some random name. And so it's very hard to relate to that person. And that sort of makes that ice-breaking thing a lot higher to overcome as opposed to any other platform like Slack or WhatsApp. I have not used WhatsApp for that purpose, but Slack, it becomes much more relatable because you just know the person, you see the person's name. It becomes a lot easier to trust it at the first instance.
Makes sense. So taking this a little further, right? So we know people liked it for building a community and meeting like-minded people. We know people liked it because of its anonymity. The focus is on the activity, not on the person. During that time when Discord was introduced into the market, things like a meetup existed, things like a WhatsApp existed, things like the competitors that we talked, some of them existed, so there were means of meeting like-minded people. Eventbrite also does bringing people together in some sense, right? What was there, like if you think like really deep, why did they shoot up, like in popularity? What happened that people wanted Discord and not a workaround via WhatsApp or Telegram or Snap or something else?
Same thing, what you have, anonymous and gaming. Dedicated platform for that. There was none before that.
Yeah. So they took a very vertical centric approach to building out features for a gaming related community, which is why I think somebody else mentioned that they have avatars and they have some other fun stuff in the channel, which is still in that, enticing gamers to join and very gaming focused. Keep that in mind as we go to the next slide. And I'm keeping an eye on time too. Where do we think are their biggest challenges? Like which, they claim they have millions of users. I think they have stats on their website on how many users are there, how many users use it every day. Where do you think is their biggest challenge?
I think for them, it looks like they are targeted only to certain population age, because it's such a complex looking application. It's not very user friendly.
Okay, so lack of user friendliness is their challenge. Is that their biggest challenge?
To a certain age group, not to youngsters. I guess they like complexity of things, and at least I find it very. I don't like the application at all. So
it could be more like an activation challenge, right? Like you have like for curiosity's sake, I went and logged in, I created something, but I don't know how I'm going to use it
Okay.
in my day-to-day life. Like I'm not a gamer. So what is the point of having it?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Mhm.
So they acquired me as a new customer, but they cannot keep me as a like engaged, active customer. So customer engagement is their challenge.
Okay. Makes sense. If
So
we
in a
take
sense
that
of
further, probably
retention,
revenue then becomes a challenge because
Yes.
Shritama, you were saying something.
I was going to say the same thing, that is retention is because if I haven't found a community for myself, right, there's no way, even if I've made an account for myself, logged in, there's no way I'm going back to that app if it has nothing to offer, like similar to any other product.
Yeah. So if you think of opportunity, then, finding a community for me or helping me discover a community quickly could be an opportunity for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts that come to think from an angle of threats? Is there anything from the AI lens that might displace what they are doing or bring an opportunity to them? Regulatory threat from government. Abhishek, do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so as someone mentioned about the, the anonymity which comes with a lot of illegal activities, ending up, and governments can put a crab on the spread of this application, and they might, just like how Facebook or Twitter, they got pulled into the US, I think, the chamber where they were interviewed and they were interrogated about the safetiness about the data. So
Yeah.
once, if there is any situations where bad things or bad activity starts happening on the platform, cybercrime police can come after and start scrubbing on the activities.
Yeah. So there could be regulatory threat from a crime perspective. There could also be regulatory threat from a data privacy and angle. There could be regulatory threats from because most of their audience is probably under 21. So how do they adhere to whatever is the COPPA related laws in various countries? There could be regulatory threats from around that phase. Do we see any evidence that anybody has filed a lawsuit against Discord?
Remember when there was that leaker of the military secrets?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was discovered on Discord. It was leaked in the game. You know that it was like some guy in the army, in the US Army, and I think he leaked some stuff about Ukraine.
Correct. That's
was
true.
it through Discord?
Remember this a few months
It
ago?
was on Discord. It was on Discord
initially, yeah.
Yeah.
And then made its way out. So like, I think there are some risks there, right? Like when the government may go after Discord and say, you have a responsibility to, I don't know, make sure things like this don't happen. It just adds more burden to them.
Yeah.
I don't think the government, I don't think the government can actually stop anyone from saying, hey, because that would mean that they become like a moderator of content, which is very, very hard for any company to do. I think I agree with you. Like this was like a very special case where this, I think guy was trying to like show off to his friends, very close friends, and he posted that material. But I guess one anonymous user group is NSA, right, which is always lurking in the background, or FBI. So yeah.
I'm not saying that it's easy or like any tech company would want to do it, but governments have made requests. Like the European Union has made lots of asks of tech companies that sometimes the tech companies' responses, they just don't operate in Europe because it's too difficult. So there are just challenges there. Another, I think, opportunity for them is monetization, because the Nitro product to me is just so limited. Like with such a large audience, they really should have more, I don't know, more monetization.
Yes, agreed. Actually, I was going to a little bit digging into that area, right, around monetization, because hosting so many servers for free also probably costs them money, right? So where are most of their users? Are they very US centric, or do they have global user base? Do we know?
Good question.
Because that could be another opportunity for them. If most of their user base is concentrated in, say, US, then going outside.
I've seen in India, Tanmay Bhatt is one of the influencers. He has a big Discord community.
I was going to say the
where-
same. Like in Asia,
Yeah.
there is a huge gaming community all
And they
over
are on
Asia.
Discord.
So
Okay.
they are available everywhere except China.
Of
Mhm.
course. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. What other, related to monetization, what other opportunities come to your mind?
So one thing that I was thinking of, right, keeping it very core to their user base, which is the gamers, where around which they evolved. At least my understanding, and if someone has a more experience with that, they can correct me. But my understanding is that what you do on Discord is you essentially discover, right? You find these communities, you find people, and then probably the next step is that, once you have identified who you want to play with, you probably set up some time set, and all of that happens outside of Discord. Is there and so that's where I see that it falls off, right? This is entire experience of finding someone and then setting up a time to play with them and then actually getting together to play with them. So I was thinking if Discord could do some investment in terms of augmented reality, virtual reality, where it not only just helps people find each other, but actually help them come together via the Discord. Maybe it could be a paid thing where people can come together, they can set up a time and then they can come and virtually play with each other. Now, I don't know how that whole experience will play out with virtually, and then you are doing a video gaming, all of that I haven't thought, but I think I definitely see that there is a fall off happening there. Like it's just to the discovery and then, maybe keeping in touch, but
Yeah.
not beyond where they can come together.
Yeah, I think AR, VR integration or other gaming platform integrations could be one way to keep people are not just discussing about the game in Discord, but maybe even playing a lightweight game together. Could be one area that you could propose as a way for them to do it. Do you think, just thinking because if you want to monetize, do you think people will be willing to pay? Like if I'm paying already to PlayStation or to Xbox or Nintendo, do you think people will be willing to pay money to play?
There was a popular
Yeah,
integration that PlayStation did with Discord. So all PlayStations now come with inbuilt Discord app.
Yes.
So if they decide to, if you're using any other console other than PlayStation, then you end up paying. That could be a possibility.
Okay.
Or similarly, they could do an integration with Xbox, or it depends. Those are the different ways that they can generate revenue. Or going the way the Twitter or anybody else, like the influencers are already being charged, but even the users who want to subscribe will also pay, change the revenue sharing model a little bit. Those are
Okay.
different ways.
So,
Yeah.
Rutuja, just one quick thing. What I'm thinking, what Discord has to bring to this entire platform, right, is the fact that gaming is essentially a very social experience, and Discord has that power where it can help you find people who you will enjoy playing with. So that's where the value that Discord adds, and then so people should be willing to pay for that if Discord were to give them that stability, that security, confidence, and that experience of getting them together.
Yeah, makes sense. Ariana.
My kind of take on where they should go next is, instead of focusing on monetization, at least my theory right now is that they have plenty of cash. I mean, I just pulled them up on Crunchbase and it looks like they almost have $1 billion in funding.
Okay.
So maybe strategically there's not as much pressure to monetize, but instead they need to focus on growth and expanding customer segments. So moving beyond, instead of doubling down on their current power users, which would be in the gaming space, if I were, head of product, I would instead focus on expanding to additional customers or customer segments, maybe within the Gen Z segment, like you're saying, education, or maybe focusing on young women in that segment. maybe aging up to people in more our demographic to solve the need around kind of community coordination, et cetera. At least just for my personal experience, I've definitely grown in my digital community experiences, and it's split across Facebook groups, WhatsApp, Slack, and they all suck. And I've tried to convince one of my mom groups to switch from WhatsApp to Discord. So that's my thoughts on what they need to do next.
And it's a very, very rational way to think about it. Like, hey, there is money. So especially if any of you are using Discord is my favorite app, and I want to, as an interview prep question, then have some logic behind which part of the funnel you would invest on, and then what features ladder up to that. One way, and then the features for acquisition could be about age related, category or adjacent category related. It could be there are various ways to acquire more users, or you could say that maybe they have enough users, they're just not activated, so you can help them actually activate and engage on the platform through some of the discovery things that we talked earlier, that you don't know what group to join, so let me help you get started. Right, and of course there's it's not wrong to say let's double down on the people. So we could say that, hey, this started as a differentiated platform, let's keep it differentiated and double down on the users we have. Maybe we have not saturated the gaming world. I don't know, I'm just saying, just a thought. Cool. Keeping lens of time, we have about 6 minutes. So if anybody has a meeting to run off to, this is like a good time to drop off. You won't miss much, but we'll continue in this spirit of like, where else do we think, what are some tech trends that could change what they are doing, what they could do better, differently? Do you see anything happening around us? AR, VR was one such thing. Is there anything else that comes to mind?
I think if you had AR, VR, you probably would not even need Discord then, right? I mean, because if it's VR, then Discord is not really needed, right? Because now you are in a completely, I guess, different metaverse or something.
Depends, Zahid, it's if you're in the game experience, right. Yes, the VR helps you connect there, right? Like just like I would, you and me, maybe we meet in real life and we play in the same room. I think a lot of this Discord thing comes together where everybody's talking about the game, right. About that level, that cheat sheet, that code, that trick. Same thing with influencers. It's about, outside of the game discussion. So I still think even with AR, VR, there's a space for Discord to connect and talk about how you beat somebody real bad or whatever, like Clubhouse. Yeah.
Okay.
And incidentally, we didn't talk about Clubhouse being there.
Yeah, I just realized Clubhouse can be also YouTube channels can also be there.
Yes. I think more than Clubhouse, YouTube channels, because there's so much, especially I have 2 kids who are on those YouTube channels as much as I allow them to be. And they get all their gaming, because I don't allow them on Discord, they get all their stuff from YouTube. Ariana, you have your hand up.
Oh, sorry, I think that was from before.
Okay, no worries. I was like, oh, maybe you have some thoughts. So I think their biggest thing is actually YouTube and the comments that go on that YouTube feed. YouTube Shorts is another, flavors of YouTube is basically where this audience also is, but then it's not a community, right? Like
it's not many to many, right, Rutuja? It's one to many then.
Yes, exactly. Actually, you do hit a really good point on modalities of communication, so something like this is like it's a many to many anonymous pre-experience, in-experience, post-experience, like all life cycles of that gaming thing get covered. So it's very different than a comment on a YouTube.
Correct.
Video.
It's much more immersive than that in terms of the experience it provides.
Plus, you can quickly, like if 2 people are online, you can quickly jump on a call, just like you could do on a Slack huddle, which YouTube doesn't do, so it definitely has much more richer interaction.
There's one thing that I was thinking of, I mean, going back to the thing that you had, right? Any trends that could change? I think again, probably, so we are like seeing a lot of this thing where generative AI is coming in, right?
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of text coming in. We are seeing images. One thing that's still, and I was reading something, it's still in the nascent stages, but video, the content, video content that is created by generative AI in the this video space. So one of the things that I was thinking of was that it is possible, again, like, very moonshot, but maybe that when gamers start interacting with each other on the Discord platform, maybe like, they can throw each other challenges and
Yeah.
they start coming on the platform, like, someone just like gives them one challenge and then they play it off against each other. So something that happens very on the spur, but like, it's not like something that was already created, and just like, testing your wits against each other using AI.
Yeah, it could be a TikTok like challenge, but around the game, more real time. Definitely.
Yeah, and little more like, richer in terms of like what the challenges would be. Hopefully the technology would have to be much richer in order to give you that sort of experience in a video gaming context.
True. I think there's a good question in the chat about what will help them stay sticky. I think they're so far, because they took a vertical approach of focusing on gamers, they have been sticky for gamers. As they go horizontally, especially if that's the feature improvement, we say that, hey, to acquire more users, go to a broader range of customers, might be worthwhile to think about how do you keep them sticky and bringing them back to the platform. We are at time, so I don't want to keep anybody, like if Abhishek, you are probably I don't know if you're based in India, but if you are, it's probably late. So thanks everyone for a really good discussion. We will post this Jamboard onto the Facebook group. So if you have any additional comments or thoughts as you think about it, feel free to continue the conversation on Facebook. But it's been fun discussing Discord.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for a great discussion, everybody. Thanks for setting this up, Rutuja and
Thank you.
Katerina.